This is a problem trying to understand the absolute value questions. When we're trying to solve the absolute values, we're looking for the x's that would make these equations true. So in our case, we're trying to solve the absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to the absolute value of 3x minus 5. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to use two methods. One is the longer one, and one is very quick and efficient. And that's the aim of this video. It's the second one. Now let's solve it the regular way. So most of the time when we have the absolute value of something, we check whether this one is positive or negative, because the absolute value is always positive. So if it's negative, we make it positive. Okay? So to make this one here and to take into consideration all the cases, we're going to make a small table. Okay? So on the first row, we have all the values that will make this equation 0, each one. So x minus 1 is 0, 1x is 1. 3x minus 5 is 0, 1x is 5 over 3. So now, based on this table, we're going to study the sign of x minus 1. So when x is 1, it's 0. When x is less than 1, x minus 1 is negative. So it's going to be minus x plus 1 to make it positive. And when x is bigger than 1, it's x minus 1. And when x is bigger than 5 over 3, it's bigger than 1, so it's going to be x minus 1. So we don't change the sign. And remember, the absolute value of x is x when x is positive, and minus x when x is negative. So in our case, x minus 1, so it's x minus 1, it's positive when x is bigger than 1. That means x minus 1 is bigger than 0. And it's negative x plus 1 when x is less than 1. Okay, that's how we think of it this way. So the next one is the absolute value of 3x minus 5. So this one is 0 when x is 5 over 3. If x is less than this value, we have a negative. This quantity is negative. So 3x minus 5 is negative. We make it positive by the sign, by the multiply by the minus sign. So it's going to be minus 3x plus 5, minus 3x plus 5. If x is bigger than 5 over 3, it's going to be 3x minus 5. Now on each interval, so on this interval, minus infinity 1, we solve these two. Okay? So we have, so on minus infinity 1, we have minus x plus 1 is equal to minus 3x plus 5. So adding 3x to both sides, so we get 2x, and subtracting 1 is 4, that means x is 2. Okay? The issue here is that 2 doesn't belong to this interval. Therefore, this is not a solution. Okay? Now let's move to this interval. Okay? This one here. So now we have x minus 1 is minus 3x plus 5. Any solution must be in this interval. So we add 3x to both sides, we get 4x, and we add 1 to both sides, we get 6. That means x is 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is less than 5 over 3. It's here. So that means 1/2. Okay. So it's here. So it's in this interval. Therefore, this is a solution. So this one accepted. Okay. Because it satisfies both equations and it is in this interval. Next, we're gonna solve. So here we were in this interval 1, 5 over 3. Now we're gonna move to this interval 5 over 3 plus infinity. So in this case we have x minus 1 is equal to 3x minus 5. So in this fact, so I'm solving this one, okay? But in this interval, this expression has the absolute value of x minus 1 is x minus 1, and the absolute value of 3x minus 5 is just 3x minus 5. That's why I'm not talking about this equation, but in fact I'm solving it. Okay, so I'm treating all the cases. Now let's go back to our equation. So if we subtract 3x from minus 3x from both sides, we get minus 2x, and we add 1, we get minus 4. That means x is 2. is 2 in this interval? Yes. So this is accepted as a solution. Okay? So treating all the cases, we have two solutions for this one. So the solutions are 3/2 and 2. Okay? The next method that's very efficient and quick is that, so the absolute value of some A is equal to some values, absolute values of B. To solve this equation, we solve, it's the same as A equal B or A is minus B. This is the same. So solving this equation, it's the same as this one. Why this one is true? Okay, we can prove it very easily, very quickly. We're not going to go into a lot of details. So the absolute value of A is A if A is positive. Okay, if B is positive, the absolute value is B. The absolute value of B is B. And therefore, since these two are equal, we have A is B. If B is negative, the absolute value of B is minus B. Therefore, A is minus B. Okay? The next thing is that if A is negative, okay, the absolute value of A is minus A. Now, if B is positive, we have the absolute value of B is B. Therefore, we have minus A is B. And that means A is minus B. If A is negative and B is negative, we have minus A minus equals minus B, and therefore A is B. So this equation gets to this one. So solving A, the absolute value of A is equal to the absolute value of B, is the same as solving A is B or A is minus B. That's what we're gonna do here. Okay, so we have x minus 1 in absolute value is 3x minus 5. So think of this one as A and this one as B. So this means that either x minus 1 is 3x minus 5 or x minus 1 is minus 3x plus 5. I had the minus here. Now solving this equation here, okay, we get x is 2. Solving this one, we get x is 3/2. We get the same solutions. So to solve equations that have this form, A, the absolute value of A is equal to the absolute value of B, is simply solve A equals B or A is minus B. This is helpful too, the table, because we get into all the cases. Remembering both of them is good. Justifying both of them is good. Okay? There are any other ways? Yes, there are many other ways. Graphically, you can graph all of them and see where they intersect. Okay, I think this ends our video here. Thank you very much.